Welcome back to Grow Joyfully. Today I wanted to discuss how to clean your cast iron. Some people absolutely say don't put water on them at all, but to me that's not practical. When there's a big greasy beef roast in there, I am going to get in there with soap and water and give it a good scrub. So it's what we do after that with the cast iron that will help save it and season it. So let's get started. So what I do is just take a scrub brush, put some soap on it, put a little bit of water in it, clean it out really well, rinse it good, plus the lid too. It has to be cared for as well. Get all the soap out of it, and then we're going to take it over to the stove. I use a paper towel, and I dry it really well. You can't dry it too hard, or then the paper towel starts to come off on the cast iron. So then I just turn the burner onto low, and I set a timer for about 3 minutes. And just let it sit there and warm up and just dry all the way through. Meanwhile, I go and I get my lid, I clean it off just the same, and then I dry it really well, and then we'll do the second step. If you find that you're getting rust on your cast iron, I use these SOS pads to scrub off the rust, then I rinse them really well, and then we'll go on and show you what we do next. But it is okay to use this on your cast iron, in my opinion. This is what I do. For the lid, I scrub it well with soap and water like I do the bottom part. Take a paper towel and dry it all really well. This is the part that gets rusted the most, the back part of the lid. You can't set this on a burner, but you can set it on top of your warm cast iron Dutch oven. Just make sure you get all the water off. It gets rusty around here really easy, so that's when I use the SOS pad. Scrub off the rust, and then wash it well and dry it super well. So now this has been sitting here for 3 minutes. Turn off the timer, turn off the stove, and you see how it's all dry in here? That's great, and it's a tiny bit warm, not overly warm. I'm going to take a clean paper towel and use some of this coconut oil. You can use olive oil, you can use avocado oil. Different manufacturers will recommend different things, so it does not hurt at all to follow the manufacturer's recommendations. So then I just take some of that oil on a paper towel, because you can just throw it away. And I rub it all down with the oil once it's been thoroughly dried by the paper towel and on the burner for about 3 minutes on low. You can do it a little longer if you want. Now don't be alarmed when it looks like this, because every time you use it, every time you clean it, it will look like this. That's the nature of cast iron. But I make my very best roasts in this Dutch oven. I thaw the meat, then I put some oil and butter in and brown it on both sides. Add seasonings. I use beef bouillon and a product called Pero. It's like Postum. It's a cereal grain beverage that is people use instead of coffee. And it just makes the juices and the roast and the gravy very nice and brown and yummy looking. So you're just going to rub that all really well. Make sure it's rubbed in. being careful because this is going to be a little warm. I get the bottom. I get the sides. And you don't want to have excess on there. You just want to have it all rubbed in. We're going to do the same for the lid, especially the underside. Right here where I'm rubbing right now really gets rusty really easy. So you don't want to let these pans set around dirty if you can avoid it at all. You can redeem them, you can fix them if this happens to you, because it's happened to me. Life gets in the way. So the best idea is to, if they're dirty, just keep them on your countertop. Don't fill them with water to soak and set there and rust. See how it always just comes off? That is the nature of cast iron. But they make the best roasts, stews, all sorts of meals. And it's good to know how to cook on them, because if you have a wood stove or if there was a grid down type situation, you could use this on an open fire outside. You could use it on your gas barbecue. It's very, very versatile, and you can use it in all sorts of places. Okay, so I've done this part. I don't like to use as much oil on this side for obvious reasons, just because it'll be hard to handle and get grease everywhere. But that's the idea for using cast iron. Keep it dry, store it dry. You don't want to store it in a place where you put your other cookware that you might put away a little bit damp and then it drips on your cast iron. I have a special place where I keep my cast iron so it doesn't get water on it and have to sit there and rust, because it will rust fast. I have a Dutch oven for Dutch oven cooking. I haven't used it in several years and it's just so rusty, but I don't think it's beyond redemption, because I can get some steel wool, scrub off all the rust, and then heat it up on the stove. Make sure it's super dry, and then rub it with oil like I'm doing now. It would take a while, but I think it's worth it. Try to find some cast iron at your local thrift store so you don't have to pay as much for it. But I've been getting the Lodge brand lately, and it's not a horrible cost, especially if you save up for it, you plan for it, because I don't have that many pieces, but I use them a lot. I have a frying pan. I have a small frying pan. I have this Dutch oven and a couple other pieces, but I think you'll find it very helpful. It just takes a little care. You can't just tell yourself, well, I'm going to throw this in the dishwasher, easy care, blah, blah, blah. But the benefits you get from cooking with it, and for the versatility, especially in a grid down situation, it is very worth learning how to use cast iron and enjoying it. That's one of the main things you can do, is use it now. Learn how to use it well, and learn how to love it. So I just thought I'd pop in and make this little video about how to care for cast iron. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful, and I hope you have a great day. And please do it joyfully. We'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by.